Okay, let's get started. Hey horror freaks, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. If this is the first time here, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you can get a notification every single time that I post a video, and I post every single week. As you can see from the title, on today's video, I'm going to be giving you my full review with spoilers of Fresh. This movie just came out on Hulu yesterday, and it was premiered on the Sundance Film Festival of this year, and Hulu was the one that decided that was going to be bringing it to us. Now, as always, all my reviews are with spoilers. If you don't want them just to see if this was worth it or not, on the description box down below, there you're going to find my spoiler-free review, because I'll let you give you guys the two options. So, given the little talk disclaimer ahead, let's get into the video. Now, the film follows Noah, who is a woman that is trying on this online dating thing, but it's not precisely working. So she's kind of giving up. Right at the beginning, we have an example of a date with a man that she met online, but of course things doesn't go right. It sets an example of the type of dynamic that can happen when two people are meeting for the first time after deciding to go out online. So she still like has this app and she's just looking, of course, kind of looks like Tinder. But it's not until she's on the grocery store that she meets what will be her new boyfriend, Steve, that is portrayed by Sebastian Stan. Now, this is something that the trailer gives you right away. The reality is that at some point, the trailer gives you not the whole movie, but maybe too much, since it shows when they meet, shows you that they are going to be a couple, and kind of gives you what his unusual appetite it is, because that's the plot. It's basically this couple and this girl that now has to work with the fact that her new boyfriend has an unusual appetite. And like I said, by the trailer is pretty obvious. Still, that doesn't bother me because I was still interested in watching the movie. The movie, it's a comedy thriller slash horror, has a really good balance when it comes to the comedy and the horror. So that's something that didn't bother me at all. So of course they meet, they have a first date, they have sex, and the next day he's like, why we don't go on a trip? Honey, you just met a man on the grocery store and you just had a date. Fine, you just had sex, that's fine. But honey, going on a trip with someone that you don't know, that doesn't seem right. But of course, she says yes. On the way to the place that they're supposed to go, they stop on this house, gorgeous house in the middle of nowhere. And he drugs her. And when she wakes up, this is when the real horror begins. This is probably like the first half hour of the movie. It's just them meeting up, her with her struggles of dating. We have the introduction of her best friend that is coming way later on the movie once again. Because all this time, of course, her friend, as a friend should, is really worried about her since she's going with a man that she doesn't basically know. So he drugs her and he basically hides her on a basement. We will call it, but a really nice one. Like, it's not dirty or in bad conditions. Actually, it's the total opposite. It's a really, really gorgeous one. So we come to the explanation that he gave us that he's a cannibal, and his job basically is to bring food to other people of his community, because he tasted it when he was a teenager. He tasted a human and he was something that changed his life. So he wanted more and he wanted to find people that felt the same. So of course he did. And basically his job was to find women, because she asked him why women. And he says basically that they taste better. And his job is take women on dates, whatever. He brings them to the house and he will cut them to pieces when they are alive, which is really creepy. At some point, she tries to escape, and I would call it as a punishment, but also as what his job it is. He cuts her butt cheeks. Yeah, he cuts her butt cheeks. Now, the thing is that this movie had a lot of potential for body horror, but it didn't get to the full potential. Like, they did just a little bit. But I think that when it comes to this type of topics, that is cannibalism, I think that the body horror can be more. So I was expecting way more blood and body horror than it was. So this is maybe a movie for someone that wants to see this type of topics, but without too much blood. Of course, that doesn't add up and maybe doesn't match, but it's an option. Still, for me, I would have preferred a little bit more. The movie is almost 2 hours long, but I think that it was the right time because during this time we see the full personality of Steve. He's crazy at some point. The reality, he's mad. So he cut her butt cheeks, but then she's trying once again to like talk to him and maybe be friendly to see what can happen. You know what, like she's been too friendly and like funny, making jokes. You know what she's trying to do. But she also knows that he had another girl because she talks to her throughout the walls because she's on the other room. But of course, at some point, she's kind of thinking that maybe it's her imagination because she doesn't know for how long she has been there. On the meantime, her friend is investigating. She eventually finds who Steve is. She gets to the house. He has a wife and he appears. He gets to the house and she basically calls Noah and he has her phone. So, of course, it starts ringing. And he's like, you weren't supposed to do that. And her wife knocks her out. So, of course, her wife knows everything. Actually, basically, at the end that we know that she's kind of the boss of the whole operation. So, for me, it wasn't like trustworthy like her wife. Like, it was fishy from the very start. So, we have now Noah's friend. It's on the house too, but this is something that Noah doesn't know. While she's trying to maybe suit the tricks on Steve, they have dinner. She has to eat someone and they are dancing. He even gave her a dress. And at some point they get to the bed and you know what she's gonna do? And she bites him. She has toothpaste, so of course hurts a little bit more. I don't need to be a man to know that that must hurt, having toothpaste and then biting you down there. Awful. So she does that. She locks the door. She runs. She goes and finds the girl. It wasn't her imagination. It was real. She has a missing leg. Also, her wife has a missing leg. So kind of creepy. The fact that the boss has a missing leg. Like, what the hell happened? Why do you have a leg if you're the boss of this thing? So we have the girl with the missing leg. We have Noah's friend. She's able to escape. She's fine. Nothing happened to her. So we have the three girls now trying to escape from this house while Steve is running behind them with a gun. Now, basically, the last 15 minutes of the movie is them running through the woods and him trying to find them. But she gave them a good fight, all of them, and eventually they kill him. So we have him all dead on the floor. His head is a mess, his face, everything is a mess. A lot of blood. This is the most blood that we see on the movie. And then we have his wife, and Noah lost her phone and she wants to go back to find her phone in the woods. She finds it, and the wife is like, oh my God, you find it? And she's crying. She's like, who are you? She tries to kill her, but of course, her friend appears and she's like, you didn't try to help me. Of course, she's mad about the fact that this woman did nothing to her. And she kills basically the boss of the whole operation and they leave. Basically, that's it. The movie, I wouldn't call it simple, but predictable a little bit, but still it's fun. The acting is real good and it was really enjoyable and fun. The reality for me, Fresh is fun. I really like it. Probably, I think, can be a rewatchable movie. I don't know, has the vibes of the type of movie that I would rewatch if I have nothing else to watch. I really enjoyed it. So I will give it this movie 4 out of 5. The only points I'm going to be taking away is because of the body horror. That was the only thing that was missing, but by the else, it's excellent. So this is a recommendation. You should watch it. And well, I think that this is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think. Did you like it? You didn't? You haven't watched it yet? Let me know. Well, this is all for the video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'm going to see you guys on the next one. Bye.